It is never too late, and it is a good time, any time, to talk about fire safety. And especially because if you are hearing impaired or you are deaf, this is a very important topic for you. So, and for all of us. Um, there's a couple of things that I can point out. There's probably a long list, but I want to start so you can think about a list of things in your own home that you could rearrange or you could check or you could update to make sure that your house, to begin with, is safe. Sometimes we can't avoid or prevent things from happening, such as the fires in California. That's something that we have no control over. But the things in your home, you do have control. So be very careful with heaters in your home if you use them. Try to find heaters that are nursing home safe. So they don't have any coils or anything like that. But they're safe and they can heat up the size of a good sized garage. So think about changing your heaters that have coils and have a fan to a heater that can be used and is safe to use in nursing homes. So it's just a different style. And I'll put the video up here, up there. There it is. All right. Cords, electrical cords. Make sure all the electrical cords that you are using are healthy, that are not broken or old in age. So if they're kind of brittle and starting to break, it's time to change those cords for new ones. Make sure that your plugs are grounded. Now, sometimes we're renting in an older building, and so that also has to do with just being careful what you plug in and how much you plug in. So cords, make sure they're up to date and they're not brittle and breaking or peeled, which would be worse. Make sure that you do not plug one power strip into another. Okay, so you don't want to do that. That's overloading. So one power strip into a wall plug. Do not put two power strips into wall plugs. Just one per wall plug, okay? And don't put two power strips plugged into each other. You've got to change that. Other things that could be hazardous is the kitchen. Kitchen is number one on the fire department's list of dangerous areas. So if you are cooking, for instance, don't walk away or carry a little beeper with you when it's time for you to return to the kitchen. It happens so many times that people put something on the stove and they walk away. They forget about it. The doorbell rings, the phone rings, and they're answering and doing too many things at once, and they forget what's on the stove. So, and it starts a fire. So be careful. Your microwave, make sure it is plugged in correctly, that it's clean frequently so it doesn't start, like a grease fire or something. Make sure your stove is clean, that it doesn't start a grease fire. And have something nearby that if a grease fire starts, that you'll be able to put it out right then and there. There are special chemicals powdered chemicals that you can use for that. Let's see, make sure your stove is up to date and the cord on the back is healthy and it's not brittle or breaking. If not, call an electrician and see that, just get it checked. So the kitchen is major, okay? So you want to keep that clean and not walk away when you're cooking. And make sure that when you are baking something that it doesn't spill over the pan or the Pyrex that you have in the oven. Let's see. So, it's just all the basic common sense things. I think that some of the things that I'm mentioning here, like plugging one power strip into another, is a big no-no. And so you want to make sure you don't do that and that all your cords are healthy. Alarms. sometimes people, because they can't hear, they do not care about the fire fire alarm or the smoke alarm, so they don't pay attention to it. Oh, I can't hear that. So who cares? And you need to care. You need to put in the batteries, change the batteries twice a year. If there are none in your home, you need to place one, especially in the kitchen, far away from the stove, of course, but one in the kitchen, especially at the entrance of bedrooms, one in the living room. So those kind of things, you want to make sure that you are covered. Now you might say, Lisa, I can't hear them anyway, so why do I have them in my home? This is the next tip. You need to have visual or vibrating alert system so that if they go off and you can't hear it, you're sleeping, or you took out your hearing aids or your cochlear implants, that there is a system that will alert you by vibration or visual. So you're the only one who knows what you are sensitive to, what you're going to pick up on. If you say, no, I'll choose something that is vibration or flashing lights or both. So I have both. And I will put up here, right here, over there, some models of fire alert systems for the hearing impaired. And you can purchase them, or if you rent, your landlord needs to install a visual fire system for you, and they can get a financial aid for that. You can go to your fire department and get assistance, and they might have one on hand and install it for you. If they don't have one, they'll take your name, your phone number, and get one for you, and then they'll call you so you can come and pick it up. If it needs installment or some kind of training, then they'll be happy to go to your home and help you with that and do the training. But please, 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 get something that is safe for you, that's going to alert you even though you're deaf or you're hearing impaired. In the United States alone, every 15 hours, a person who is hearing impaired or deaf dies in a fire. Every 3.5 hours in a day, people who are deaf or hearing impaired are injured in a fire. So this is no laughing matter. It doesn't matter the type or the time of year. It is a good time to talk about it at any time of the year. So in this section, we want to talk about, okay, so let's say your alarm goes off, you were alerted, and there's a fire somewhere in the home. The most urgent thing for you to do is to grab your cell phone and exit the home. And you have to plan this a little bit. Most states have a regulation that there must be 2 exits in a home. So you need to plan how you're going to exit the home and what is the safest way. And I will also leave links in the description box so you can go to these documents and review steps that you need to make. These are like basic things that I do, that I've been trained to do in my home and the various buildings I've lived in. So this is really important. If you have to exit, keep yourself low on the ground because smoke rises. So you want to avoid the smoke inhalation. So you want to keep yourself low and know exactly what exit you're going to choose. So, and other family members also, so you have to be in agreement where you're going to meet. If everybody exits, then how are you going to meet up to make sure everybody is okay? If there's somebody who is a little bit slower or use a walker or whatever, somebody needs to be a partner with that person and make sure they can exit safely. Remember that during a fire, you can't use the elevator, so that is a scary situation when you're on a second, third, fourth, fifth floor. So you have to use the stairs. So if you are a person with hearing loss or deafness and you also have mobility issues, it's really important that you figure out if you can move down to the first floor where you can exit in a safe manner if there's ever a fire in your building. So people with mobility issues should not be on the 4th, 5th, 6th floor because that's a death trap. On top of the fact that you can't hear, you can't move, you can't use the stairs. So, and during a fire, you can't use the elevator. So that's something you really, really need to think about. Talk to your landlord or consider moving at some point to a safer environment for you. Also, be careful with matches, with fireworks, where you save them, with candles. Be careful with lighting a candle and then walking away. It's the same rule with the kitchen. Be careful when you start to cook and you walk away, okay? Just have a reminder, and some kind of rule of safety with candles. You can also use battery-run candles. I know they're not as romantic, but they can be safer if there are memory issues or if you're really busy and you leave the candle, lit and you walk away. That could be a danger. So be very careful with candles, with matches, with fireworks of any kind. So those are my tips for now. And I will leave plenty of links in the description box so you can review it and make sure that you develop a safety plan for your home.